I started doing these prop reviews for a couple of reasons. First of all, I want to say that the things that we're flying are technologically incredible. The things that they can do are just nothing short of amazing. Every single time I fly, I'm always amazed at what I can do in the air with this robot, this machine that we fly. They've also gotten to the point where they feel like organic things. They don't feel like robots in the air. We're able to do things that are so fluid and natural looking that there's nothing machine-like about it. It's really like a blend of human ability to drive performance as well as the craft's ability to respond and do exactly what we want. So when you look at props and you choose a prop, all these props have really different attitudes. It doesn't make sense to look at thrust bench numbers or anything else or top speed of a prop or something like that, because it doesn't matter. What does matter is the way the prop feels, because what we're flying is so organic. So that's the main reason why I started doing these reviews, because we really need a source of this kind of information. There's no easy way to convey what a prop feels like in the air, and the parameters that I've kind of invented out of nothing are just things that I felt like I would use to understand how a prop feels in the air. The next reason is because thrust numbers don't really mean anything to a prop. So I'm going to display two examples of thrust from a prop, and these two, they actually come from Sage Thayer. This is a Racecraft, one of his demos, one of his simulations for the Racecraft props, and this is just one that he's testing. And the difference between these two views that you're looking at is that one is a static thrust test, like on a bench test, and the other is a dynamically moving blade that's actively tracking through the air. You can obviously see that the bench test thrust picture, the vectors look inefficient. It looks like the air is just being recirculated, and if you're not tracking through the air like the other one, you're not getting the full potential of the prop. Like, case in point, if you look at thrust numbers from the Racecraft 5051 and compare it to like the 5x4x3, it doesn't make any sense. The 5051 generates less thrust on the bench than the 5x4x3. Why? In the air, it's so much faster. It's because the prop is not active. It's not reaching its full potential when it's on a thrust bench and all the air is being recirculated. There's no way you can gauge that. If anything, we should put these props in a wind tunnel to test them. So for the most part, there's no point in looking at thrust numbers well, there's not no point. It does tell you a little bit about the prop. For example, this 5x4x3, it's a very low speed prop. It has the ability to generate more static thrusts than something like the Racecraft 5051. What that tells you is that you're going to get a lot of immediate punch out of this prop. And the 5051, you're probably not going to get a lot of immediate punch, and that's exactly what you feel in the air as well. So you can look at thrust numbers, but it's like a roundabout way of analyzing them to give you information that's useful in the air. All that being said, these are my 4 favorite props, and these are pretty much the 4 props that I would try to run on any 5-inch, starting with my new favorite, which is the Gemfan 5152, which I actually just got off the phone with Gemfan, one of their designers, and they were telling me about all the things that they're coming out with. They're coming out with some crazy stuff. Really amazing stuff. The Gemfan has been like gearing up and working on a lot of different things, and they actually bought a motor manufacturer, recently bought a motor manufacturer in China. They have hired another company in San Diego here, which is the people I just talked to. They're an engineering firm, and they're doing most of their engineering. They're also going to be coming out with their own brand, so it's going to be the own engineer's brand. And this particular prop, the reason why it came out so good, that was the reason why I reached out to them. I want to figure out what happened that this prop actually worked out so well. The reason why this prop came out so good, not really a shock, this prop was designed by one of China's top FPV pilots. That's why it's such a good prop. This pilot has the ability to engineer a prop and also knows what a good prop should feel like and how a good prop should work. So that's why this prop actually works. It actually works well. Another thing I said that they were trying to like patent the curved tip on the prop and try to do various things to protect themselves. But in reality, they explained it to me, and it makes more sense. They are going to patent the combination of features in this prop so that people can't easily copy them. And their goal is only to protect themselves. It's nothing else. They're not planning on being malicious towards anybody. They just want to protect themselves from people they're going to copy. Obviously, they're going to copy. This is going to be a very, very popular prop, but obviously people are going to copy it. Anyways, my 4 favorite props. This one is the perfect all-around prop. It's great for medium and heavy builds. It's great for 2400 kV. Would not put it on anything above 2400 kV. It's going to hog a lot of amps and not going to get a lot of high speed performance after that. The next prop, shockingly, recent favorite, is the Gemfan 5x45 twin blade. This is not a light blade, but I will use this on super light setups, and it is definitely for high kV motors. It is not for 2300 kV. You should run a minimum of 2500 kV when you're using this prop. The next prop is the 5x4x3, and I prefer the Racecraft and Doll variants because they are wickedly durable. Also, the V1S version is also very good. So this one and the V1S, they're both, I consider them equal. This is a low speed prop. This is not a high speed prop. This prop has been designed for an efficiency speed of probably like 35 miles per hour. So anything above 35 miles per hour is generally inefficient with this prop. But I mean, hey, it's a relatively low drag prop, so it'll go faster anyways. This prop, the Gemfan prop, I don't even think it was engineered. I don't know what it was, but it looks like it was just drawn and made, and I don't even know what it's geared towards, but it's a decent prop. You can see that the middle of the prop doesn't really have much scoop or anything, so it's not really doing anything in the middle, but out here it does have a nice meaty scoop, and it's a really efficient prop at spinning fast. It draws really low amps for the speed and just generally the speed that you get. The Gemfan 5152 is actually, they talked to them, they told me it's a 4.5 pitch. If you look at the pitch, which is relatively a meaningless number because the naming scheme that they gave it, actually I don't even know if the name actually means anything, but it might be the advanced ratio of the prop, which is a totally different concept. So pitch is something that I just look at the blade and I see how steep it is. It's a measure of steepness for me, and this has a steepness rating of 4.5, which is very similar to the Racecraft 5051. The fourth and most interesting prop to me is going to be this prop. This is the Racecraft 5038. This prop I thought was designed for really high kV, but that is not the case at all. This prop was actually designed to be a highly efficient prop, and I spoke to Sage Thayer about it. He didn't even consider, he was the designer, he didn't even consider that this prop could be run on a high kV motor and be good at it. But it works out. It works out well. On like 2600 kV, this prop is actually really good, and it's really, really lightweight. So you can probably spin this prop on really tiny motors, and it'll work out. The prop is actually not super aerodynamic, believe it or not. It's good for its low speed. It is a low speed prop. I think like 40 miles per hour this prop has been engineered for, and you get crazy efficiency at that speed. I mean, if I was doing an endurance race, I would use this prop because it's crazy efficient. But for the most part, it's an interesting prop that I might do some special things with. Additionally, I mean, 4-inch, 3-inch, those are totally different classes. But for 5-inch, these are my 4 favorite props at the moment. I know that they're going to change, and I think that everybody should definitely have an eye on Gemfan because they're going to be coming out with some really interesting stuff. Also, their sister brands that they're going to be coming out with, they're going to be really awesome. I can't really tell you guys anything about it, but I was really surprised. When I discussed it with them, I was really surprised what they're coming out with. Anyways, those are my reasons for these prop reviews, and hope it was informational. Don't forget to floss.